You open your eyes. The sun has risen, the birds are singing. You are still alive, and for now you are safe. For now. Your gaze wanders across the unfamiliar room to the window and the woods beyond, and you wonder if the monsters are lurking just beyond the trees, ready to pounce as soon as you leave the comfort of your new friend's family home. You can't help but remember Duke, slumped against a tree, pieces of him scattered across the clearing. A knock at the front door. Ooh. Oh, is it Tabitha? Immediately, it's Tabitha. Where the hell is Lilac? Oh, hey, Tabby. There's a fresh pot of coffee on the table if you want to come in. No, I'm just here to check on my cousin. Let's make this quick. I have a lot on my plate today. You're barely decent. It might be mildly scandalous if people saw you like this. This one's tempting. I'll finish getting dressed and calmly collect myself. You calmly collect yourself while Tabitha fumes outside your door. Are you sure you don't want to visit for a bit? You don't have to run around being the big boss this week of all weeks. You should let yourself... I'm fine. Thanks. Lilac, I know you're here. Where the hell are you hiding? Let her stew for a bit. Lilac isn't here right now. Okay, yeah, sure. Walk out and greet them. I'll walk out and greet them. Not sufficiently prepared to greet other civilized humans, you open the door and join them in the living area. Gretchen excitedly looks at you and wiggles her tail. Oh, I thought this... that delivery was weird. I was thinking it was gonna give, like... Oh, well, Gretchen does this, Stella does this, Tabitha does this. I was wrong on that. I simply must say what a joy it is to see that you are finally up. I do hope you're well rested and that you don't mind our most unfortunate guest. Morning. How'd you sleep? Silence. What exactly did the two of you get up to last night? We went up to the woods to film a video. No, not that part. The cops called this morning and told me all about that. Oh, right. They think I'm a suspect. Right. They did? What did they say? Did they find Duke? They didn't find a body. Of course they didn't. Because they didn't get... The creatures probably dragged it away or something. Like, there were so many of them around there. They should have actually gone while it was still there last night. They didn't find a body if that's what you're asking. But apparently he never went home last night. And they had quite a few questions about you, Lilac. Goddamn, my first day in town. Technically second day now, but, you know, they started suspecting the night before. And I'm already being suspected for crimes. Don't worry, I told them you were an upstanding citizen. You should remember that kindness the next time you think about blowing me off to spend the night with a stranger. Hey, don't be so hard on Lilac. I asked her to crash here. And look, I don't care what the cops think, Tabby. There's something horrible out in those woods, and I don't think anyone in this room wanted Lilac walking up that mountain alone last night. Stella, would you mind giving me a moment alone with my cousin? And while you're at it, please stop calling me Tabby. We're not in high school anymore. Yeah, alright. You're not gonna let her treat my dear Stella like that, are you, Lilac? Stella stays. Come on, Tabby, no buried guests in the Richmond household. Whatever, I don't really care if you're here for this. You've been in town for less than a day and my stress is already through the roof. I mean, I get it. Stella got you all worked up and you were too scared to walk home alone. Sure, whatever. That checks out. But I don't care if those woods are chock full of ghouls and ghosties. You had me worried sick. From now on, you're back at the estate by bedtime. No more impromptu sleepovers. I picked the mystical option. I go where I'm supposed to go, and something told me that this is where I was supposed to be last night. Ugh, just text me, okay? I've spent more time than I'd have liked coming down here, and I have an incredibly busy day ahead of me. I expect to see you back at the estate tonight. Wait, Tabby, let me know if you're free sometime, okay? Tabitha sighs. Oh, music stopped. You're relentless. We'll see, but don't get your hopes up. Hey, you good? Sorry about Tabby, she totally blindsided me. I'm good, but how are you? That was a little tense. I think we're in the same boat. I probably should have known Tabby would have been stressed about you spending the night here, but I haven't seen her in a while. I didn't think she'd actually come all the way down here. It sucks that this was probably the longest interaction I've had with her since high school. Anyway, sorry for that rude awakening. I'd been up for a while, but was hoping to let you get a little extra sleep. But you're up now, and we've got a full day ahead of us if we're gonna get to the bottom of this. A full day ahead of us? That sounds like it's more walking time to me. You shouldn't be okay right now. I guess I'm just pretty good at compartmentalizing things. What happened out in the woods last night was horrific, but right now we have something important to focus on. I'll have time to process what happened to Duke when we get to the bottom of things. You shouldn't just bury your feelings like that. That feels like it's getting to the point of being a little pushy. Like, the last one was like, okay, well, I'm asking, like, hey, what we saw last night was fucking not good at all. What, like, you seem more... Oh, did not mean to hit my mic. You seem more positive than I would think you would be. But then this one feels a bit like it's just, like, outright telling her, like, hey, don't do that, which... Yeah, you shouldn't bury your feelings like that, but also, I just met her yesterday. I feel like I shouldn't be giving her advice on something like this. I want to ask the other miners about Wayne. I want to check out the mines at some point today. Maybe if some of the miners there can tell us about Wayne. He scared the bejesus out of me last night. Definitely. Kanika's waiting for us at the library, so we should head over there first. But unless we can find something solid on ditchlings there, the mines seem to be the strongest lead we've got. Oh, let me set up a group chat. What's her number? You and Stella exchange numbers. A text message from Stella to you and Kanika. It reads, group chat. Anyways, daylight's burning, so let's roll out. Can I eat first? Don't worry about that. I packed all sorts of snacks for the day, and Oscar totally won't mind if we eat at the library. Alright. Let's go. Works for me. Let's roll. The walk to town was short. Stella's house is barely a stone's throw from what remains of Scarlet Hollow's once bustling main street. You shudder as you stare down the thoroughfare, both from the chill in the morning air and the all-too-present memories of everything you witnessed last night. You see that building labeled Town Hall? That's actually the library. Well, it's also the Town Hall, but that's just a small upstairs office nowadays. I guess the town's not what it used to be. That and our mayor's really into going on walks. I think there's actually going to be a meet and greet later this week. Could be just the pick-me-up that we need with everything that's been going on. Stella may be fond of him, but I certainly didn't vote for that beast. Gretchen doesn't seem to care for him. Alright, I know you've joked about it a couple of times, but now I'm actually starting to believe you can understand her. Gretchen absolutely can't stand Mayor Jimmy. Oh, hey. Morning, Stella. And same to you, Lilac. Speak of the devil, we were just talking about you. Coming from Stella's, huh? Did y'all have a slumber party? Sorry, y'all, but I'm actually in a bit of a rush this morning. I really can't stop to chat. It'll take me a bit to set up, so if you want to catch up with the folks or grab something at the diner, you can meet me at the library when you're done. Oh, sure. See you in a bit, Stella. Cool. See you soon. Huh. She always has time to chat. Yeah, because she did specifically mention she was kind of like not really trying to think about what happened last night, so if they're picking up on a difference for, like, in her behavior, then, yeah. Did something happen last night? Oh, Stella and Lilac just got up to a bit of trouble, that's all. It's not my place to share. I could share it. Well, it's your place to share, right, Lilac? I'll tell Avery the whole truth. Stella and I went into the woods to try and find a skunk gate, but we ran into something way worse. Actual monsters. Sybil said that they're called ditchlings, but whatever they are, they killed Duke and have been mutilating the local wildlife. Whoa, slow down. Duke is dead? It's true, I'm afraid. That's awful. Has anyone told Beau? Yes, he's taking it as well as you can imagine. I'll be going up to check on him today, the poor lad. I can't believe you had to see that, Lilac. Tell you what, I'm on break for the next half hour. How about you swing by the diner? Winnie can fix you some of Sybil's new blend and try to calm your nerves. It's chaga and lemon balm. It's always helped me on the bad days. And if you need to talk about what happened, I'm all yours. Anyways, it's up to you. See you around, Lilac. See ya, Sybil. Take care now, Avery. I'd better get back to it myself. I'm glad I was able to catch you this morning, if only to see how you were holding out. Please don't hesitate to stop by if I can be of any help. Pick this option. I like the mystical ones. Don't mistake my calm demeanor for complacency. We all have our parts to play. I trust that you and Stella have what it takes to get to the bottom of things. I'm so sorry to cut our conversation short, but I've got things that need tending to. Stay safe, Lilac, and God bless. Stella said you had some time to kill before she finished setting up. Swing by the diner, swing by the general store, head to the library. I'll swing by the diner. What would I even be able to do at the general store? Oh, diner. You head towards the diner. The diner is a little quiet today, but the air is still heavy with the tantalizing smell of breakfast. I'll just talk to Avery. I don't think I need to set everyone into a panic here. You slide into the booth across from Avery. Hey there, stranger. Before you can exchange words, Winnie slides up, a fresh mug of tea in hand. Heard you might need this. The answer to 29 down is oink, by the way. What? But the clue is pen sound. How is that a sound? The sound a pen makes. A sound a pen makes. Wait, pen, like pig pen? Are you kidding me? How was I supposed to guess that? I don't know why you even bother with those things. They're just gonna frustrate you. It's just something to do to fill the time. Then maybe I should switch to Sudoku. Winnie leaves Avery contemplating daily newspaper puzzles, returning to her seat behind the counter. So, thanks for telling me about last night. If you want to really get into the grisly details, you can tell me. I won't judge. Try your tea. Mystical. Interesting that I'm getting mystical from tea. You take a gentle sip of your tea. Sybil was right. You can already feel it begin to ease some of the strain and tension from last night's events. Whoa. Color me impressed. Not a lot of folks take to chaga so quickly. Tell Avery about last night. You share everything. Glad to have someone to talk to about the horrors you've witnessed. Wow. That is some heavy stuff. No wonder Stella seemed so distant. Monsters in the woods. I may not have lived here long, but I've never heard of anything like that happening around these parts. How exciting. I feel like less exciting and more mildly horrifying, but I guess if it's a small town, there's not a lot going on anyways. Come to think of it, they are friends with a cryptid hunter, so I guess monsters might be a bit more exciting than to the average person. Now that I think about it, when the cops came in for their morning coffee, they mentioned something about going out to the woods to look for someone. It must have been Duke. They seemed so disconnected from it. I figured it couldn't be very serious, but wow. They seem weirdly suspicious of me. I don't get it. They saw Stella's footage, they saw what happened out there, but it feels like so far all they've done is hound me. Hey, I don't know if it'd help your anxiety, but even if they think you did something, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't bother going after you. Those cops come in here every day, and I feel like I know them pretty well by now. Fair. And let me tell you, they have no follow-through. I can't tell you the number of complaints they've just, like, dropped after a day or two. And I'll vouch for you if they try anything. Where are you from? I moved here from Charlotte. Gosh, 3 years ago now? Maybe a little more. I've lost track. Aunt Winnie offered me a place to stay and a job, and who was I to pass up on that sort of generosity? To be honest, it still feels like I just moved in. Practically everyone apart from the Cole folks grew up in this town, so it's like I'm the perpetual new kid. Don't get me wrong, folks here are plenty polite and friendly, but there's a shared history I'll never be a part of. I get it. Folks on the whole have been plenty friendly, but life here is so different than what I'm used to. It's hard to explain, but I just don't feel like I belong. Exactly. There are worse ways to be, but I'm not sure I'll ever entirely feel like I belong here. Do you regret moving here? I don't think I have the choice to have second thoughts. I'm not going anywhere without Aunt Winnie, and there's no way she's leaving this place. Why'd you leave Charlotte, if you don't mind me asking? No, it's cool. I was having some issues with my folks about my education, which wasn't great. Especially since I was still stuck under their roof. When my aunt heard about it, she offered me a job and a place to stay, and the rest is history. Let me know if you happen across any leads. We're on the case, but I hardly know where to start. Let me know if you hear anything. Definitely. Oh man, it looks like my shift is starting. Hopefully the Chaga's had a chance to start working its magic. The diner is where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what goes on around here. I'll let you know if anyone mentions those monsters or anything else strange or unusual. This is your first time seeing the general store in the light of day. A young man sits at the table by the register, too preoccupied with his phone to care that you stepped in. Offer him your broiled peanuts. Of course. I will just introduce myself. I just got to town yesterday. Yeah, I know. Mom told me. Do you know how to get to the mines? Maps are free. You take a map of the town. The mines are a couple of miles away. But you now have the power to visit your cousin of your own free will. What's her name? Miles. I'll just leave. See you, Miles. Miles doesn't respond as you turn and leave the general store. Visit the general store without stealing it. I could have stolen something. Interesting. Visit your cousin at the mines. Oh my god. She would not be happy if I did that. You enter the former town hall. What once must have been a stately foyer has since been converted into rows of shelves. Meeting rooms and offices long ago gave way to assorted reference collections and reading areas. Oh hey, you made it. Settle in at Stella's table. Shush Stella and point at all of the books before heading over to her table. Settle in at Stella's table. You walk over to Stella's table and settle in. Glad you found the place. Hey Lilac, you look tired. My goodness, whatever happened to common decency? You can't go around telling someone they look unwell. You look marvelous, Lilac. Yeah, it was pretty hard to fall asleep last night, all things considered. With all of those dreadful creatures in every nook and corner, it is a wonder you got even a wink. I can't say I got a wink myself. Yeah, same. Anyways, I guess we should get started. Hey there, strangers. And literal stranger. Offer him your boiled peanuts, of course. Introduce yourself or remain silent. I'll introduce myself. Hey, I'm Lilac, Tabitha's cousin. I'm in town for the funeral. Oh, I should have known you were a Scarlet. You look so much like Vivian. Not that I knew her very well. I was still a little kid when she left. But that Scarlet resemblance, it's strong. I'm Oscar Gutierrez, chef librarian, and chief librarian, not chef librarian, and only librarian. Oscar's amazing. He practically built this library from scratch. Yeah, I'm a little jealous of what the kids around here get to grow up with. They don't know how good they have it. Back when I was in elementary school, all the library had was a couple of shelves of boring books donated by old people. Y'all are too kind. But speaking of kids, have either of you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my texts, and I wanted to make sure she isn't getting into trouble out there. You know the crowd she hangs around with. They're good kids at heart. I'm sure they're just up at the old Maxwell place doing teen stuff. Went up there plenty of times in my day, but I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled. What's the old Maxwell place? I can ask about it. It's this great old abandoned spot, and it's practically a magnet for young people. Even honor students aren't free from its call. I can't believe I used to be so reckless. The floors there were like Swiss cheese. I should really have a talk with Rosalina when she gets home. I'll say I'm sure she's fine. You might not want to let her run off like that anymore, though. It's not as safe as it usually is around there. There, see, she got the message across. Is that so? Kanika's right. There's some weird stuff going on out in the woods. That's actually why we came in today. Have you ever heard of creatures called ditchlings? They apparently show up around places on the brink of disaster, and they kind of look like if the Pillsbury Doughboy was a creepypasta. Kanika's mom told us about them last night after seeing some footage we got in the woods. Ditchlings? Doesn't ring a bell. Dang, worth a shot. Okay, if you were, say, trying to predict a horrible disaster that might befall our town, where would you start looking? Well, they say history repeats itself, so I'd probably try and figure out what sort of disasters this region typically falls prey to. Gretchen... why is Gretchen just looking forlornly at me? Should I be worried about something? Just looking directly into the screen. I don't know yet. I'll be right back. Gotta go nab some more books. Behave while I'm gone, Gretchen. Oh, you don't have to worry about her, Stella. You're such a good dog, aren't you, Gretchen? Here, have a biscuit, old cow. Won't you the sweetest thing on two legs? Gretchen inhales the soft biscuit, drool leaking from her toothless mouth as she swallows it whole. Pretty sure Stella's barking up the wrong tree, Oscar. I don't think you have to worry about any horrible calamity befalling the town. But she's right about the weird stuff. There's definitely something unusual going on out in those woods. Something we can't get to the bottom of. I'm gonna try calling Rosalina again. I'm sure she's fine, really. Rosalina's a smart kid. She knows better than to go around getting into trouble, and we'll make sure to keep our eyes peeled. Well, like, if you see a 13-year-old girl with a black braid and glasses, would you let her know her dad is worried about her? Got him. Just grabbed a whole mess of local history books. Stella sets a massive pile of books on the table and pulls up a chair. All right. This is going to be so much faster with the two of you here to help out. Got our snacks, got our books. Let's get this research party started. Reading awaits. Forced into retirement at age 50 due to a war injury from his time in the Indian Wars, exacerbated by his short stint serving as a captain in the Confederacy, Silas Scarlet was also lost his eldest two sons to that bloodiest of wars, leaving his third eldest son, Andrew Jackson Scarlet, to take charge of the mine. Family history here. Under his leadership, the mine prospered, undoubtedly in part due to the growth of the railroad industry. Managed to evade the coal union for decades, making them one of the most profitable mines in the country, Andrew Scarlet built the charming town into what it is today, with expensive stone buildings, a bustling main street, and overseeing it all, the elegant Scarlet estate that was, until 1895. Oh my god, get the year right. The largest and finest feat of architecture in the region. It was found that Charles Shaw, the co-manager of the mine, had loosened security measures to increase production during World War I, resulting in a fatal collapse and the deaths of over 160 men and boys, some as young as 10. Yeah, that's mines. The casualties included Andrew Jackson Scarlet's son Theodore, his brother Enoch V. Scarlet, who would take it. I couldn't tell if that was a V or a 5, but then I realized that 5 in the middle of the name when it, like if it was like Enoch Scarlet the 5th, that would be after the name, but yeah, it's V. Who had taken over for their aging father during the bustle of the war, managed to pull the mine from the brink of ruin, thereby saving the town. So this is how your family made its fortune. Hi. Wampus cat, a large cat-like creature with a loud howling voice, often said to sound like a woman crying out in pain. That's also just mountain lions. Those sound like that. So there's a possibility that that one's based entirely off of mountain lion presence in this area. Could be real. Again, this game has monsters, clearly. Yeah. That's what that immediately reminded me of, was like, yeah. Tommyknockers originated in Cornish mythology, spreading to the United States when Cornish immigrants began working in Appalachian mines. They're named for the knocking that can be heard from seemingly within the walls before a cave-in. Oh. That's fun. According to some, the knocking serves as a benevolent warning. Others believe that the creatures take stolen hammers to the supports of mines and collapse them on whoever is unfortunate enough to still be inside. They are traditionally thought to be impish, leprechaun-like beings, but some claim they are the spirits of dead miners, forever cursed to haunt their final resting place. Let's read up on the Wampus cat. Good name. Often linked to Cherokee legends, some cite the Wampus cat as originating with the story of a woman who sought vengeance against a monstrous cat demon for driving her husband mad. She hunted it down and, by wearing a bobcat mask, tricked it into using its own vile magic on itself, freeing the people of their region from its evil. Others say the creature comes from the story of a woman who wore the pelt of a wildcat to witness forbidden hunting rites. The hunters of her village gathered to perform the rites, and she watched in secret from underneath the cat's pelt, but was soon discovered. For her indiscretion, she was fused with the pelt and transformed into a creature that was neither human nor cat, forced to wander the wilderness alone, feared by all. Damn. Her calls are those of great sadness and serve as a warning to anyone who dares go against tradition. There was a hunter who lived in a tiny cabin in the middle of the woods, all alone with his hunting dog. One night, after a particularly bad week of hunting, both their stomachs empty, the hunter spied something out of the corner of his eye. Oh. That's mildly horrifying. Some small creature had gotten into the cabin through a hole, and before he could even figure out what it was, he'd drawn his gun and fired at the thing, his hunger guiding his actions. But it was quick, and ran back through its hidey hole and out of sight, leaving only its long black tail shot off by the hunter's rifle. Guess this'll have to do, he said to his dog, and threw the tail in a pot to cook a soup. He and his dog ate well that night. The tail filled them both up. The hunter crawled into bed satisfied, and his dog curled up at his feet. He woke up to the sound of long nails scrabbling across wood. His dog was nowhere in sight, only a rumpled spot on the covers where he'd been, and in the gloom he saw two big yellow eyes staring right at him. I want my Tailivo, a high hoarse voice croaked from the darkness. Go away, he screamed at the thing. But stepped closer to him, still shrouded in darkness, the sound of long claws dragging across hard wood accompanying his movements. I want my Tailivo, the creature growled again. I'll get my dog after you, the hunter squealed, his voice catching in his throat with fear, but there was no dog to be seen. I want my Tailipo. Before the hunter could so much as scream, the creature leapt from the darkness, long claws stretched out towards the hunter. No one is sure what the creature did to him that night, but the next morning, all that remained of the hunter, his dog, and his cabin was a chimney, standing alone in the woods. Silas Everett Scarlet was born to Colonel Everett J. Scarlet in 1818, one of 12 siblings. He grew up in eastern North Carolina during a tumultuous time in the state's history, and not much is known about his life before he joined the Army in 1836. He quickly rose through the ranks, in which part of his father's connections, but also due to a particular weaknesses for which he received the name Bloody Silas Scarlet. The federal government granted the now Captain Silas a tract of bounty land in exchange for his service in the Indian War, and he settled into the hills of North Carolina in 1841. That land would become Scarlet Hollow. Cool town history. But it started as a simple log cabin built by Silas's own two hands, occupied by his family of 10. Silas's wife, Mary Joseph Scarlet, and their 8 children. Logging business brought in many workers and fellow landowners to the hills, but it wasn't until Silas discovered rich seams of coal running underneath the entire region that Scarlet Hollow was really put on the map. He saved what he could and brought the surrounding hillside at a great discount, cleverly hiding what he knew about the land's true value. Thus, he had all the resources to found Scarlet Hollow's now famous coal mine. You're finished with this one. I think I'm done. All done. Let's check in. Alright, if we're going with what Kanika's mom told us last night, I think we can rule out any natural disasters as what brought the ditchlings here. But not nuclear incidents. Looks like our state has a history with those. What about y'all? Find anything? Hi. Before you respond, a handsome black cat leaps onto the table. Almost on instinct, Stella slams her book shut. Hey Pixel. You might want to close your book. He loves to rip up any paper he can find. Pixel, my dear friend, it's been too long. How have you been? Hungry. Did Stella bring the good stuff? Don't worry, little guy. I didn't forget your treats. Yeah, snack time. Crunch, crunch. Sorry if Pixel's bothering y'all. Hopefully he hasn't gobbled up any of your books. He can't stand the thought that people might pay attention to anything that isn't him. Hey Pixel, what do you... Oh no. Might have not been the best. I guess she hasn't seen me directly talk to animals before, so that's probably why. Stella, at least, whether or not she completely believes me, knows I possibly can. I'm an indoor cat. I don't know nothing about no woods. I just hang out in the library, especially now that our house got haunted. Pixel says your house is haunted. What's up with that? Haunted? What Pixel said? So is it true then? Yes, at least I think it is. There isn't any other explanation. Lilac is either psychic or she can talk to animals. It's a long story. No comment. We've been living in the library for a little bit. It's been great. Way more snacks, way more scritches. Except sometimes there's too much scritches. Hold up, what kind of haunting are we talking about here? Unexplained noises, objects appearing in strange and unfamiliar places? Oscar, don't get her hopes up like that. Nothing like that, sorry. The floor in Resolution's bedroom just keeps seeping blood, and I've seen a strange figure in the hallway a couple times. That's concerning. A good reason to move out of a house. Yeah. Wait, you've seen a full-body apparition? Can I see it? Stella, how many times have you gone on ghost hunts and been tricked by shadows? You know what it's gonna be. But what if it's an actual ghost? I believe him. I can practically feel the haunting as we speak. Well, we do live in the annex behind that building. Y'all are more than welcome to check it out. Maybe tomorrow night? Yes, we'll be there. Yeah, that sounds like a fun way to spend an evening. Can't wait to get spooked by some creaky floorboards. Oh, that's gonna be when the big event this chapter happens, isn't it? It was the forest last time. It's gonna be in the house this time. Why do you let a paper shredder freely wander a library? Why don't you mind your own business? Have you seen this little guy's face? How could I say no to that? Leave Pixel be. You decide to leave Pixel be. The cat curls up on the table, fast asleep. Alright, I better get back to shelving. Let me know if y'all need anything. What is that you were saying about nuclear incidents? You were talking about that Goldsboro thing, right? Yeah. Apparently in the 60s, a B-52 carrying a live warhead broke up midair and dropped a couple of bombs. Fascinating bit of history there. The first of the two bombs landed upright after its parachute caught in a tree. Thankfully, it didn't go off. At the time, the government claimed that the bomb was unarmed, but it later came out that the only thing preventing a detonation was a single electrical switch which failed to trigger on the descent. And 60 years later, the second bomb still hasn't been recovered. If I remember correctly, they just buried it and sealed it up. I'm sorry, did you say they buried it? Do y'all need something dug up? Because if so, I'm your gal. I don't think disarming nuclear bombs is part of our skill set. Absolutely not. And there's no way a nuclear bomb made all those things. I'm just saying, you never know with radiation. We actually know quite a bit. It just melts you. It doesn't make monsters. And a 60-year-old bomb isn't going to explode on its own hundreds of miles away and kill us here. You never know. There could always be a whole underground society of bomb-worshipping mutants just waiting to blow it up. I've missed this. Any luck with Rosalina? Not yet. I knew a teen would be a handful, but I didn't think it'd happen overnight. I'll probably head out once you're all done and check in on her usual hunt. Do you think there's a cult here? You lean in and quietly whisper to Stella and Kanika. Do I think there's just like a cult here? Really weird combination of being dismissive and trying to pin things on me. I don't know, it just feels like a cover-up. Yeah, that was pretty bad, but I'm not sure they really have it in them to be part of a cult. Definitely. I don't think they're capable of putting in the effort. True on that as well, they definitely do not seem capable of any effort towards anything. So about the coal mines here. Kanika visibly shudders. I get cold sweats just thinking about being at a place like that. I feel for the guys who work up there, I could never. Speak for yourself, I love a good crevasse. A union busting mine collapse from foreign working conditions colored me shocked. Yeah, it's pretty awful. That's what that sculpture out front is for, commemorating all the men and children who died that day. Every kid in Scarlet Hollow learned about the collapse of 1918. Our teachers love to emphasize how many children they had working down there, probably to try and show us how good we have it or whatever. Low power if you ask me. You know, that could be what the ditchlings are warning us about, another collapse. Writing it down on the list of potential disasters. Yeesh, Stella, that's morbid. And besides, it was all Charles Shaw's fault. The labor market is way more strict now. There's no way you could get away with the kind of safety cutbacks he pulled. Y'all didn't actually think the mine is about to collapse, right? No, I don't think so. Yeah, any word there for a second. I hate to give Tabitha any credit, but the mine is safer now than it was back then. Still, what a horrible thought. You never know. What happened after the mine collapsed? The book just kind of glosses over that. There was a union for a little bit, but it didn't last. There's not a whole lot written about the past century here. Yeah, the Scarlet Hollow mine isn't exactly the most ethically run business. I'm sure Tabby runs the mines better than what Charles Shaw did. Still hasn't let the union in, though. There's a reason she and I don't talk. You guys really seem to have a bone to pick with Charles Shaw. That's what happens when someone directly causes a monumental disaster, especially in a small town like this. People tend to spit when they hear your name. He got run out of town on a rail, you know? And that's not a figure of speech. Back then, they actually tied you to a rail and ran you out of town. There's a big mural over it over on the far wall. He got off easy, if you ask me. I agree with Stella. Maybe the ditchlings are warning about another collapse. Yeah, honestly, I mean, that seems like the most plausible thing. Could be something else, but also, I really wouldn't put so much stock into that. Talk about Silas Scarlet. So, Silas Scarlet. Yeesh, I figured old money from the South wouldn't be great, but he sure did some things to get where he was, huh? That is a perfect example of why you should use multiple sources for your research instead of trusting the first thing you read on a subject. Yep, dude was a monster. The mines made a lot of money during the Civil War, too, and you can probably guess which side a North Carolinian business owner would be working for. Sorry you're related to him. Do you think the ditchlings are here for retribution? That seems tenuous. Assuming Kinika's mom is right, they're here as an omen, not because they're gonna do something themselves. And I think we know how I feel on the matter. And talk about the last book I read. So, Appalachian folk monsters. Wampus cats kinda sound like they could be mountain lions. Voiced like a woman crying out somewhere between person-sized and cat-sized. Definitely, they're 100% mountain lions. Kinika, you know there are no mountain lions up here. I thought you were supposed to be a skeptic. Now, Stella, one of these days you'll trust us. But the myths are old, right? Mountain lions didn't go extinct in the Appalachians that long ago. Those legends just haven't died off yet. Almost every cryptid can be tracked down to either a hoax or someone getting confused about a perfectly normal animal. Sometimes both. Bigfoot, for instance, started as a prank. Then folks saw bears walking around on their hind legs and got freaked out, and now here we are. You'll eat those words when I get the first clear footage of a Bigfoot. If you manage that, I will print out a piece of paper that says Bigfoot isn't real and literally eat it. I promise. I'm holding you to it. Do you think the ditchlings are Tommyknockers? What with the whole warning thing? Oh, that's true. Because, yeah. Good thought, but Tommyknockers live in mines. That's like their whole thing. I'm going to write it down, though. Tommyknockers are literally just the sound to happen when a bunch of rocks and wood are about to collapse. Are they? Or are they the sound of mysterious creatures pounding on the rocks and support beams with hammers to cause a collapse? There's simply no way to know. My mom used to tell me that Taily Poe story. I'd totally forgotten about it. It scared me so bad I didn't eat soup for years. I thought a monster might try and dig it out of my stomach if I did. I love that one. There's this old chimney in the woods that I used to think was the chimney from Taily Poe. The one that was left after the thing did whatever it did. What thing did whatever it did? Are we sure that's not a... Okay, something burned down. Now I know that's because chimneys don't burn down, and wooden houses do. That doesn't mean it's not the chimney from Taily Poe. I've camped out there a couple times and seen some pretty spooky stuff. Like, yeah, I watched that video. You saw raccoons. You're gonna get rabies one of these days chasing after wildlife like that. What can I say? I like to live on the edge. Let's move on. Do you think Wayne factors into any of this? That creep who keeps coming around my mom's tea room? He snuck up on us last night and called out Lilac by name. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with him. Maybe he's sick. Maybe that has something to do with what you saw in the woods. I don't know. I'd buy it. We check out the mines. Between Wayne, the old collapse, and the fact that the whole town's practically been built around them, it feels like they're the smartest place to start. Which is true. Good idea. There's been an awful lot of mines-related stuff in my notes. We can poke around, find out if anyone's seen anything weird. Just to clarify, you two are suggesting we go to question some of the miners, right? We are not poking around unprepared in the actual mines, right? Oh no, we're definitely doing the second one. Right? Yeah, totally, 100%. I would never... We don't even have a good reason to go down there. Good. Let's keep it that way. You know how I feel about mines. I promise, Sneaks, we're just going to go question some of the miners. And if that questioning gives us a good reason to poke around, say a cool abandoned coal mine, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. You can cross that bridge when we come to it. I am not going underground. Completely fair, I wouldn't want to go into a mine shaft either. Whether or not it was, like, safety compliant. just messing with you. We'll stick to the surface. I have a feeling we're not going to stick to the surface. Yeah, and hopefully we can find out what happened to Wayne while we're at it. Maybe Tabitha can help us out. Ha! No, I don't think she'd be super jazzed to see any of us snooping around the mines. I can't imagine what she'd do if we actually bothered her while she's trying to run the place. She does get a little grumpy when she's at work. She gets grumpier at work. I'm pretty sure pissed is that girl's baseline and level of existence. Chatting over dinner might be a better way to get to know her. If you're okay eating boxed mac and cheese. We can sneak around the mines no problem. She won't even know we were there. Look at us going out on a caper together. I missed this. I missed it too. Though, there is something missing. Reese. I really miss that dude. I can't believe how long it's been. Have you seen him lately? No, I've tried to play and stuff, but he's been too sick. I didn't realize it was getting so bad. That poor guy. You know, we could just pop over and surprise him. He seemed excited to meet Lilac. Maybe we'll finally get him to leave his little cave. Hell yeah, let's do it. See ya, Oscar. We'll let you know if we run into Rosalina. Thanks, guys. I'll keep y'all posted. Reese's home stands at the edge of the forest wall, an isolated buffer cushioning the rest of the town from an unending wilderness. God, this is so... I love this game so much, because I'm just realizing right now, like, how many different paths I could have gone down there. This game's flowchart for, like, pathing, for, like, different paths of different stuff you could choose to do must be fucking insane. Because, like, yeah, I'm just thinking about, like, there's so many other stuff I could have done there other than going to the library. And even at the library, there's so many other stuff I could have done. Or, like, at least there's, like, I could have skipped entirely reading the books. We could have gone to several completely different places. We could have gone to the abandoned house. We could have gone back into the forest. I could let them decide, which might have been a completely different thing. Or maybe they would have just decided one of the choices I had anyways. I don't know. This is really interesting because... Oh, this is going to be a game I replay. I know that. Because there's just so much you can do. I really like this. Reese, it's Stella. I brought some buddies, too. Shh, not too loud. He's still sleeping. Can I help you with something? The woman in the doorway stares directly into your eyes. You can practically feel her simmering irritation washing over you. Hi, Dr. Kelly. We were wondering if it would be okay if Reese could come hang out. Nothing strenuous, we promise. I'm not going to wake him up. If he's sleeping, he probably needs it. Whatever you two have planned is probably beyond what he can manage right now anyways. Oh no, poor Reese. It's just been so long since either of us have gotten the chance to hang out with him. I'm sure he and Lilac would get along super well too. Offer her your boiled peanuts. Introduce myself. Feels like the best option there. I know who you are. Makes you feel like you've done something wrong, even though you're pretty sure you've done nothing at all. Reese's mom turns back to the house, sighing. Sorry, I know that was a little rude. You just want to hang out with Reese, and he misses both of you too. He's usually feeling his best around mid-afternoon. Why don't you come over tomorrow? We can have some supper and y'all can hang out there for a bit. I don't promise that he'll be perky, but I'm sure it'll brighten his spirits to see you two again. And I suppose you can come too, Lilac. That would be great. I can bring a side dish. Maybe deviled eggs? Does he still eat those? No, eggs are a little bit much for him. They don't settle well. You can leave the cooking to me. I know what he can handle. Okay, I'll bring a soda then. It's not... Okay, yes, fine. You can bring a soda. Nothing with caffeine. Ginger ale, preferably. Oh, and leave the dog at home. She might cheer him up. You know, they have those therapy dogs in the hospital. No dogs. Well, I never. The absolute call. Gretchen. Thanks so much, Dr. Kelly. We'll stop bothering you now. See you later. Dr. Kelly nods in acknowledgement and quickly shuts the door. The sound of several locks clicking into place can be heard from within. God, that woman makes me so nervous. She used to be so nice when we were kids. Always had the best stickers when we had to get our shots. Maybe she's just stressed about Reese. Or maybe she's just nice to kids. Either way, I guess it's just the three of us. You gonna drive? Yeah, sorry. I don't like the thought of going up there without the van. Cool. I'll take my shortcut then. It shouldn't take long for me to get there. You're welcome to tag along, Lilac. Don't worry, I won't be offended if you'd rather ride with Kanika. I'm sure you're probably sick of the woods. Either way works for me. Alright, let me see. So, either go with Kanika or Stella. Okay. Walk with Stella. I'll walk with Stella. We'll meet you there. The woods are calm and serene compared to last night, though you can't help but feel that danger lurks just beyond the trees. Hey, thanks for coming along with us. With Gretchen and me, I mean. I hope I haven't seemed too cold about everything that happened last night. The truth is that I'm barely keeping myself together. I just don't know how to let it out. Duke died out there last night, and I can't stop thinking that it might have been my fault. Oh, because she froze up in the moment, yeah. If only I didn't drag you along into the woods. If only I did anything when everything went sideways. She didn't do anything wrong. I just wish she could understand that. She's such a good girl. Stella pauses, searching for what to say. It's like there's this guilt boiling under my skin, but the only way I can process what happened is by turning off the part of me that feels things. Oh. When I'm around other people, it's like I think of Duke dying as just a thing that happened. Like it's just part of another video. Because if I actually admit to other people that I feel something, then I'd have to admit to myself that what happened is my fault. Of course it's not your fault. It's nobody's fault. It's because, yeah, I went to help Gretchen. It's not Gretchen's fault. She didn't do anything there. Other than get grabbed. Tabitha's fault. I don't even know where that would go from. It's nobody's fault. Yeah. You and Gretchen have gone into those woods at night dozens of times by yourself, and nothing like this has happened before. How could you have known? Thanks, Lilac. I think I needed to hear that. The conversation comes to a dramatic halt, with you, Stella, and Gretchen all whirling around to face the source of the sound. A bird! Let me at it. I can get it. Back off, dog. This is my stick. Whoa, calm down, girl. It's just a bird. The same probably goes for the two of us, huh? I guess we're all a little on edge. Let's hurry to the mine. It shouldn't be much farther. Kanika casually leans against her band as you and Stella emerge from the woods. Hey. Y'all have a good walk? Yeah, it was great. I mean, not that you were missing out or anything. You didn't run into any of those creatures, did you? Nope. That makes sense. They're probably nocturnal. I don't know if I should feel relieved or disappointed. But we're all here. What's the plan? I guess we just go to talk to people. I guess so. I should probably be on lookout duty. I'm a bit of a persona non grata in the mines. Tabitha? Yeah, I might have tried sneaking in to talk to her a time or two too many. And Gretchen makes it extra hard to be sneaky. What can I say? I thrive in the limelight. We're probably less likely to get caught if only one of us is snooping around down there. If Stella's on lookout duty and only one of us is going in, what's the third person doing? You know those cheesy rom-coms where someone wears an earpiece on their first date? Whoa, do you have some kind of surveillance rig in the back of your van that I didn't know about? What? No. I have a pair of earbuds with a really good mic. We can just do a group call. I take it I'm the one going in? Tabitha and I aren't exactly friends, and pretty much all of the miners shop at the general store. I don't want to make folks uncomfortable, you know. It's probably for the best, Lilac. Fair enough. I've got this. You'll do great. Kanika hands you a pair of earbuds. We can feed you questions if you get stuck, and Stella can give you a heads up if Tabitha's headed your way. Dang, I've missed this sort of thing with you. You're so thorough. Aw, thanks. I do my best. I guess we should part ways and start the call, yeah? Stella and Kanika break off, leaving you alone at the entrance to the mines. Your phone buzzes. Thought that was my phone for a second. Hey. Can you hear us? Try saying something. Something. Stella and Kanika chuckle on the other end of the line. Alright, cool. Nothing to do now but enter the worksite. Enter. You pass through the unlocked fence and enter the property of the Scarlet Hollow Mine. Tabitha is not going to be happy if she sees me here. I'm in. Approach the nearest group of miners. Go straight to the main office to find your cousin. I don't think I should do that. I'm in. Alright, Morpheus. Good to know. Approach to the nearest group of miners. Go straight to your main office and find your cousin. The main office and find your cousin. I'll talk to the miners first. I don't think I should let Tabitha know I'm here. I have a feeling she's going to inevitably find out, but as long as I can avoid it, maybe it won't happen. You approach the nearest group of miners, a blonde woman, a broad-shouldered man, and an old-timer. The uniforms identify them as Harrison, Davis, and Zax. You had a reason to be bothering us? Hey, I'm Tabitha's cousin. I don't know how much of a fan of Tabitha the miners are, so maybe I shouldn't introduce myself as the cousin of their boss, who I don't know how she treats her workers. Considering it's not unionized, apparently. Probably not very well. But maybe, I mean, better than whoever caused the cave-in, apparently, but also, it's still not unionized, and that's an issue. See anything weird lately? Hey, I'm Tabitha's cousin. I'm just gonna introduce myself as her cousin anyways. Yeah, we know. Me and Davis were in the diner yesterday when he popped in. Oh, right, you were. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. How can we help? Seen anything weird lately? Nope, nothing at all. You make sure to tell your cousin that, okay? Maybe letting them know you're related to Tabitha wasn't a good idea. Yeah, I had a feeling it wasn't. I chose to do it anyways because... Do you know anything about a guy named Wayne? Yeah, we knew him. He was such a cut-up. Miss that dude. He accosted me last night. Wait, what? No way. Isn't that the guy y'all said was... oh my... Was he fucking dead? Is he supposed to be dead? Did he die? Did he die? Was he sick and he died? Why was I not told that? I mean, maybe that's not what's gonna be said, but maybe they're just gonna say, oh, wasn't that the guy who was sick? Maybe they weren't thinking he was gonna have left his house or something. Did he die? Well, I guess he's still around. Oh my fucking god. Oh no. He did die. He totally was, at least from what they seemed to hear, died. They said he's still around, like he wasn't supposed to still be around. But accosting people at night, that doesn't sound like him at all. Press them, leave it be. Press them. I am not risking the fact that, like, oh well, there's an undead person walking around town. What happened to him? What do you think you are, some sort of cop? Okay, yeah, fair. Remain silent. Maybe I'm not gonna push anymore. You remain silent. Yeah, I don't like the smell of this one bit, but I know bait when I see it. Let's get out of here. Our shift's gonna start right away. If there's an undead person walking around town, what the hell? What? So much weird shit happens in this town. This is my second day here, and there's already been confirmed monsters in the woods. Possibly a guy that came back from the fucking dead. Yeah, exactly, Stella. Maybe it was just me, but they all seemed to think Wayne was dead, right? It wasn't just you. Don't worry about the miners storming off like that. That's some pretty good info. Approach another group of miners. Go to the main office to find your cousin. Regroup with the others. Approach another group of miners. Oh, no. Oh, shit. Wayne. Before you can reach the miners are struck by an intense feeling. You recognize the hollow terror is the same thing you felt last night when you set eyes on the alpha man in the miners' shack. Wait, what if he didn't come back to life? Remember, he had glowing eyes last night. And again, that could have been a stylistic thing because it was creepy and it was like, it was supposed to be an intense moment. Oh my god, this soundtrack is really good right now. But what if something has possessed him or something? He died and something took over his body. I mean, I'm trying to think. What would be the motive? I mean, we're talking about mining. This could be completely off base. This could be a completely off base theory. But I'm gonna make this. What if it is a cave-in that is the tragedy that the ditchlings are there for? What if Wayne died and something took over his body? He was a miner, so he would be trusted and he goes around the mines a lot, so no one would be questioning if he went into the mines, especially if it was during the workday. What if that thing is going to use his body to try and weaken the supports? And it's gonna use his body to use a fucking pickaxe or a hammer or something, weaken the supports and cause a cave-in. Because if the ditchlings are actually here for some sort of tragedy, we read about the cave-ins earlier in this chapter. Wayne is acting weird, apparently was supposed to be dead, or thought to have been dead, and now is acting even more weird. And I don't know. That's a possible theory. Oh my god, it's Wayne. Hi. There's a sheet over his head. He is 100%. He's got blood all over his shirt. You shouldn't have come here. It's dangerous. Why are you warning me? What is that yellow stuff on the sheet? I mean, his eyes do look somewhat glowing from behind the sheet, from what I can see. I don't trust this at all. Also, notice that way. His voice, I noticed this last time, that his text is the same look as the ditchling infected animals. He has a sheet over his head. What if there is a growth on his head in that area? What if he got caught by a ditchling? They're not supposed to harm humans from what Sybil said, but also possibly not correct. What are you? I think what are you is pretty good because my mystical trait specifically warned me about this. What are you? Flesh and blood, much like yourself. You don't have to be afraid of me. I am afraid of you. I am the only person in this town who truly cares about your safety. Don't forget that I don't trust you. Even if it's already too late to stop what's going to happen. There's going to be a cave-in. Right? Maybe. And maybe that could also be the game that's trying to throw me off of what's actually going to happen, but that's... Yeah, where were you while I was in the woods? Watching. I would have stepped in if you were ever truly in danger. So I was never the one in danger there. I don't trust him. Before you can say another word, the figure is gone. Hey, Lilac, are you still there? We've just been getting static from you. Wayne got the jump on me. Whoa, I thought I saw you talking to someone down there. Are you okay? Whatever he is, I don't think he's human. I hate to say it, but between the way those miners talked about him and how the call went to static, what if he's a ghost? Actually a ghost? That also could be the case. I was guessing that it was his body, but yeah, it could be a ghost. You hate to say it, Stella, I don't think anything would make you happier than Wayne being a ghost. Also, ghosts aren't real. Hey now, just because I want ghosts to be real doesn't mean I want this ghost harassing Lilac. This one. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Yeah, I care about your safety. Exactly, which is why I don't trust him, because he's like, oh, I only care about your safety. Clearly not. Yeah, sure. Let's let's see what happens if I keep pushing. Whoa, so brave. Heck yeah, Lilac, we've got your back. This is probably a bad idea. I should probably either go talk to Tabitha or leave, but yeah. Hey there, can we help you with something? Anyone named Wayne? Wayne? Do you mean Sam Wayne? What are you asking about him for? Wait, have you seen him? Oh, so they haven't seen him in a while. He's been following me. Oh, thank God. Everyone thought he was dead. Oh my God. Okay, so yeah. They also think that. Now hold on. Creepy doesn't exactly sound like Wayne does it. Okay, so he's not acting as he usually does. Probably not him then. How do you know it was him? Good people, but I don't expect they'd know every mining fella in town by sight. If you catch my drift. Smith, you're losing me. I'm just saying, it'd be awfully strange for Wayne to still be in town, wandering around, following some stranger and not checking in with any of his buddies. Sounds to me like somebody who got sick of work and is having a little fun playing hooky. The following, though, okay, yeah, that does sound a little unlike him. I thought his lady friend had him under lock and key. It just smells fishy to me. Until I see him face to face, I'm not convinced whoever is calling himself Sam Wayne ain't the very reason we haven't seen hide nor hair of the man. No, there's no way. He's not. He can't be. I'm ruling it out. I'm not ruling it out. If you want my theory, that girlfriend of his, he wasn't the first to catch her eye. Any one of her jilted ex-lovers could have seen them sneaking around and gotten a little hot under the collar, if you catch my meaning. Dang, who are they talking about? The miners are silent for a moment, glancing between each other nervously as they imagine the possibility. I told him not to get involved with her. I told him. Have you all seen anything out of the ordinary lately? Weird how? Weird animal sightings? Strange question. We don't exactly get out much. What does this have to do with Wayne? Noises in the woods? Nothing but screech owls. People getting sick. The boss looks out for our health. Knocking in the mines. I don't think so. Can't hear shit down there. That's all on that front. Okay. Not really any information from that. What do you guys think of Tabitha? Think I'd ask the other group that before they left. Now, why would you even ask a question like that? Are you trying to insinuate something? Horrible woman. Now, fellas, let's not go besmirching the fine, gentle lady. If Smith is right, she's got a lot to answer for her. Alright, fellas, I think we better cool it and get back to work before any of us say something we regret. Probably right. Interesting that he stuck around for a second. Just as a heads up, the only group I still see out there is pretty close to the main office. It might still be worth talking to them, but I don't know if I can give you all that much of a warning if Tabitha comes out. So it's gonna be that, yeah. If I go talk to them, it's either A, I go directly talk to Tabitha, and she's going to be less annoyed because I just went directly there and wasn't, like, snooping around the mines without saying anything to her. But if I go talk to them, she's gonna come out and be annoyed that I was snooping around the mines without her permission. I'm gonna talk to them. I want to try and talk to one last group of miners. Good luck. Talk to all 3 groups of miners. Got an achievement for that. Went around asking questions, huh? You don't look like you're from the inspector's office. What can you tell me about Sam Wayne? Oh, he got himself into some trouble, didn't he? Why, you seen him around? What's that young buck up to? Been following me. Ain't that an interesting development in his little love story? I wonder, did the boss lady dump him, or is he trying to mess around behind her back? Stella audibly gasps. Wait, he was seeing Tabitha. Okay. The thought of a strapping young man like him with that Sour-faced broad always left such a bad taste in my mouth. Oh my god, gross. As if you wouldn't fall on your knees for if a woman of means showed the slight bit of interest in you, or any woman at all. Fair enough. You're talking about Tabitha? Yep. Dang, I figured that's why what they were getting at, but it's weird to hear it out loud. You good, Stella? Yeah, I just had no idea. Have you noticed anything strange around here lately? Let's ask them. Maybe they'll have noticed something. I have a feeling this question is actually going to have some results here because it's the last group. All kinds of weird stuff happens in these hills. What sort of weird do you mean? Weird animal sightings? I saw a raccoon with a big old tumor last week. Ah, okay, so other people are seeing the fucked up animals. Spooked me something awful. That's nature for you. Not always pretty. Noises from the woods. All the time. Howling, screaming, all sorts of fiendish caterwauling. Probably just screech owls and bobcats, the old coot. Might be, might not be. But I heard something the other night that sent the fear of God shivering down my spine, I tell you. Oh, they do see something. Or have heard something. They've noticed stuff. I saw the creatures that made that noise. Pale, hairless, and horribly misshapen with little twisted up faces. The two men stare at you, a look of disquiet in their eyes. I ain't never heard of anything like that up here. Damn, that almost sounds like a ditchling. My grandma used to tell me stories about them when I was a little kid. Guess it's not just my mom. Knocking into my... Oh, people getting sick, I guess. Didn't bring my cursor up before I clicked. I mean, some of the older miners, sure, but I wouldn't call that unusual. Knocking in the mines? You asking us if we've heard the Tommyknockers? Of course we have. We're old timers. All of us who was here before the machine got brought in know the Tommyknockers. What a nuisance, always stealing my hammers. It's true. Had a pickaxe stolen too, and when you heard knocking coming from one of the old tunnels, it was enough to make a man pray. Looks like I figured out what to do for my next video. You better not be thinking of going into those old mine shafts alone. I could always use a partner in crime. I'm gonna wind up down there with you, aren't I? That's all on that front. Sure. What do you think of Tabitha? The two men shift uncomfortably. Not the kindliest woman I've ever met. She runs the place alright. Tell that to all the boys she's been laying off lately. Keep going around saying that and see how long until you're one of them boys. All I have to say is, a mine that's doing well doesn't go around laying off its workers for no reason. I'm not so sure any of us are going to have jobs in a few years. Tate, you're a damn fool. You're going to be next if you keep up that kind of talk. So be it. But a man needs to speak his mind sometimes. That's all. Thanks for the help. My pleasure. If that Wayne keeps bothering you, just let us know and we'll whip him into shape. Lilac, I think we've got a problem. God damn it, yeah, it's Tabitha. Okay. Hi. Just chatting? What the hell are you doing here? Oh, crap. Good luck. Sorry, Lilac. And that's our cue. Pardon us. Hi, Tabitha. She is not happy with me. You shouldn't be here. This place is dangerous. Why can't you just stay in the estate and stop sticking your nose where it doesn't belong? And what is that ridiculous thing doing in your ears? Are you trying to record my employees? Are you trying to record me? Tabitha snatches the earbuds out of your ears and throws them to the ground. Typical phone-addicted city dweller. Ugh. God. And I have a meeting in 5 minutes. I can't even drive you back. Okay, look. I don't want you wandering anywhere else. Just stay here for an hour. I can take you back to the estate as soon as my meeting wraps up. Can you please do that for me? And what, pray tell, do you think is going on that I'm not taking seriously? What monster of the week has Stella cooked up inside your head? Wayne. There's a man named Wayne who's been following me around town. There's something seriously wrong with him. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it, but I could use your help. Apparently he used to work here. A lot of people used to work here. A lot of people still work here. Look, I'm sure that coming from the city, you're just not used to the sort of folks who work in a coal mine. But I'll tell you what, I'll look in my books just for you. I need to get to my meeting. Just stay here until I come get you, and don't move a muscle. We can talk more later. Tabitha rushes off to her meeting. You stoop to the ground and pick up Kanika's earbuds. Sorry I wasn't able to give you a better warning. You good? Yeah, I'm good.